Hello everyone, myself is Supriya and I am from CSCC section. Welcome to the concept video of database management and system. My topic is ACID properties in DBMS. ACID properties in DBMS. What are ACID properties in the database management system? Data has become more crucial since this tech world has become more data centric. The database contains very important data, so it is essential to keep the data reliable in the database while making the data transaction to and from the database. We see ACID properties in Dbms transaction. To consider the reliability of the database, there are ACID properties in Dbms. What is database transaction? The transaction is a set of operations. The set of the read or write operation on the database is called the database transaction. Read is retrieving information from the database. Write is inserting, updating, and deleting entries from the database. Before making the points, consider taking the real-time example. It makes the easy to understand. Suppose Elias has an account with an amount of $150. There is Bob account having $50. We are transferring the amount of $100 from Elias account to Bob's account. Now we see how we can ensure data reliability using ACID properties in DBMS. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. Atomicity. It simply says all or nothing. There is no intermediate. If you are doing any database transaction, set of the read or write operations, all the operations should be executed, otherwise none. All the operations in the transaction is considered to be one unit or atomic task. If the system fails or any read or write conflicts occur during the transaction, the system needs to revert back to its previous state. For example, let's check ACID properties in DBMS with example. Here, the set of operations are deduct the amount of $100 from Li's account, add amount $100 to Bob's account. All operations in the set should be done. If the system fails to add the amount in Bob's account during deducting from Li's account, revert the operation on Li's account. Consistency. Every attribute in the database has some rules to ensure the stability of the database. The constant puts on the data value should be constant before and after the execution of the transaction. If the system fails because of the invalid data, while doing an operation, revert back the system to its previous state. For example, the total amount in Eli's and Bob's account should be the same before and after the transaction. The sum of the money in Eli's and Bob's account before and after the transaction is $200. So this transaction preserves consistency ACID properties in DBMS. Isolation. If you are performing multiple transactions on the single database, operations from any transaction should not interfere with operation in other transactions. The execution of all transactions should be isolated from other transactions. For example, if there is any other transaction between Mac and Elias going, it should not make any effect on the transaction between Elias and Bob. Both the transactions should be isolated. Durability. All the above three properties should be satisfied while the transaction in progress, but durability issues can help even after the completion of the transaction. The changes made during the transaction should exist after completion of the transaction. Sometimes it may happen as all the operation in the transaction completed, but the system fails immediately. In that case, changes made while transactions should persist. The system should return to its previous stable state. Example, it may happen a system gets crashed after completion of all the operations. If the system restarts, it should preserve the table state. An amount is Alice and in Alice and Bob's account should be the same before and after the system gets a restart. Asset properties in DBMS make the transaction over the database more reliable and secure. This is one of the advantages of the database management system over the file system. I have Thank you.